On Tuesday, November 8th, this country will make one of the most important
decisions in its history.
You have a chance.
You have an obligation
to be a part of that decision.
I mean, I don't think our voting is that important, but let's dial it back a little bit, guys. Thank you for, Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson for taking the time to do that. No, obviously that's not them talking about this, but I wanted to make sure I tied in the fact that this was something that was voted on. So we did a poll of 64 on our Facebook page over a span of a couple weeks, and you, the fans, voted who you wanted to win best overall mask, like outfit or costume or uniform or however you want to describe it. And some of it was a bit surprising, and I'm not going to go through the entire list. I'll post the final results at the end of the video, but some were definitely surprising. And one in particular, I put this in as a joke, but you guys, we need to have a talk. Serious talk about this. That's a live episode coming down the road, so I'll prepare you for that. Disappointing. But we already got to the top one that you voted on, and let's see if my top 10 kind of link up with your top 2. So I'm going to go over my top 10 first, and once we get toward the end, we'll kind of cycle them together and see where we land. I also have an honorable mention, so we'll do that at the end as well. So my number 10 is a figure that I feel it's pretty unique in the set, and because of its uniqueness, it gets into my top 10, and that's Floyd Malloy from Vampire. So Malloy's character, it's it has the black and the red and the silver to it, which is really sleek, but the hair coming out of the top of the mask, it's a unique design. You don't see that often. As a matter of fact, I'm going to glance over at my shelf here. The only one that you have that happen with is it's Malloy. It looks like, yeah, it's pretty unique that they went that route, so his yellow spiky hair could come out and still be a part of his overall design and outfit, and that's why he falls at number 10. Number 9 for me is Bruno Shepard. Now, you might think Bruno doesn't really have that much going for him. Well, that's the thing, is that Bruno, all he's got is his muscles. Like he's wearing a tank top, and he's just muscles, and that's it. He's got the tattoo on his arm. He's like, I'm ready to go. I don't want to mess with, nobody's gonna mess with me. Check out my awesome orange helmet too. It fits in with my vehicle. So Bruno's simplicity gets him in my list at number 9. Number 8, it's a little bit more intricate, and it's kind of a design you don't see anywhere else in the entire series, even when you go through the reissues in Europe and things like that. And that's Boris Bushkin from Bulldog. Now, the overall design of his outfit, it looks like looks like somebody who's ready to fight in Siberia. I think that's located in Russia. He's got the bushy design to him, and the mask makes him look like a fierce animal ready to go. You don't have that design anywhere else, which makes it pretty unique in my opinion. That's why he falls where he falls. The next up we have is Vanessa Warfield from Manta. Now, she would probably be a little bit higher for me if her tones were a little darker. I like the red and the purple. I do like the color scheme, but a lot of things that I pick out in my top favorites are, can these be used in a legitimate setting of sneaking around or doing some sort of covert mission? Vanessa's is kind of bright in a way. It's dark and bright at the same time, but it'd be harder because she's taller than everybody else on the Venom team, maybe except for Bruno, but it would make it harder for her to stand out, so that's why I have her a little bit lower. The next one up I have is Calhoun Burns. Now, you're going to say, well, he's got brightness to his as well. He does, but there's the blue on his kind of helps mask it a little bit. It's not, no pun intended there, it's not orange in your face. It's orange enough around everything. Plus, he's mostly in water. So it's not like he's going to be on the ground sneaking around trying to do something that, I don't know, that European Ace Riker is going to try to do, or even, look, this Calhoun Burns is not sneaking around anywhere, unless he's at Mardi Gras. So if I'm inside Raven, it's dark, or if I'm in the water, and I'm not trying to be covert. If I am trying to be covert, Raven's closed up underwater. So, yeah, so I'm not really too concerned about that. And it's just that I like the color scheme, not because I'm wearing orange and blue right now. I just like the way that goes together. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Number 5 totally defeats anything I just said. Just throw out the window. It's just because it's an awesome design, but naturally you wouldn't take him on a covert mission. If you're in a band and need a great lead guitarist, he's ready to go. That's Brad Turner. Now, Brad's uniform is a bit loud. A bit. The yellow and the purple. I mean, I gotta say, I don't see him going on many covert missions. If he's in Condor all the time, not really being relied upon to be on his feet that much, that's fine. It would be higher up for me if it wasn't so bright. That's just for me. Next we have, at number 4, we have Sly Rax from Piranha. And Rax, his character has a lot of really intricate design to him. Not only is it, black on blue, there's so many fine details on his vest, on his arms and legs. It just makes it more of a complete figure. You can see him being an agent, I guess, and it fits well with Piranha. And number 3, which is your number 2, is Bruce Otto. Bruce would have a different, if Bruce's wasn't as orange, if there was a little bit duller on the orange with Bruce's, I would probably have him at number 2. Just because he's on the ground a lot, it doesn't really, I mean, maybe you can make the case for maybe it meshes well with like rocks and boulders and things like that, but from the episodes I always remember seeing him stand out pretty well. The design is great, the details are great, the intricacies are great. There's a lot of small details to them. You can see the different straps on them that you wouldn't normally see even in the cartoon. It just works out very well in my opinion. And you voted him number 2. It's a very good choice. But for me, my number 2 is Dusty Hayes from Gator. Now, I just love the overall color and design of this character. I mean, Dusty himself's a great character, but the intricacies of the uniform itself and the red and the blue can be used covertly if it needed to be. I can make the case for that if you want me to. But it just, and the red, the blue, and the silver together, always meshed well for me, and I always loved it. I can talk more about this, but I want to get to my number one, which was also your number one, Matt-Trakker from Thunderhawk. Now, as far as intricacies and like a lot of detail, this doesn't have a ton. There are definitely more detailed figures. For example, Dusty, Boris, Floyd, but the difference between those and Matt-Trakker with his Thunderhawk outfit is that it was probably the one you had when you were younger, or the one you remember seeing on the cartoon. You know, he's the leader, and you're going to gravitate toward that. And it's not your fault. It's what you remember. And even it's hard for me between Dusty and Matt, but I go Matt just because of well, I feel like I have to. But no, kidding. I like it because it's simplistic, but it captures Matt, I think, to a really good point as well. Simplistic. It doesn't need to be flashy, but he's there and ready to go. Honorable mentions for me. Now, this one would have been a little bit higher. Maybe would have made my list, but I always found Miles Mayhem in his uniform a little, I don't know, hokey. Dagger, Rax, Vanessa, none of them had one. If they all had one, then it would be different. I just find it odd that he's wearing one. It's kind of like M. Bison, just walking around wearing a military uniform. I don't know, just weird. And this character definitely would have made somewhere in my top 10. I don't know exactly where, but Gloria Baker, Stiletto. But if I had her as Gloria Baker for Shark, then she'd be way higher up my list. I don't own her, so I can't look at her directly and give you the intricacies. I don't judge things that I don't own, but keep it in mind, she would definitely be higher. I blame that on you, Kenner. So that's my honorable mention. So that's my top 10 with 2 honorable mentions. Our number ones match. Congratulations. And no, you might notice, let me see if I can point to it right. This here, I got that recently. It's for next Halloween. If I lose about 30 pounds and 2 feet, I should be good. I'll be able to fit in it, no problem. So, yeah, with that being said, there's one more thing we have to talk about. Surprised. I think we have to have an intervention. T-Bob went very high in this list for your voting. I just don't know what to say. I mean, part of me's proud that you love him that much, but part of me's also sad inside. And I do think we need to have a talk, maybe a nice live chat one day that we can turn into a Behind the Mask, where we discuss why you love T-Bob. Keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for some promotions on it. And if we don't have another Behind the Mask before Thanksgiving, not Halloween, obviously we're not going to, have a good Thanksgiving with your family and whoever you celebrate with. I will be with my family, and maybe I'll sneak a Behind the Mask in. But until then, this is Bill Ferris from Matt-Trakker.com, and I'll talk to you later.